Well, from fire and ice to water, and a lot of it. Let's go back to the emergency in Far North Queensland. Joining us is the Emergency Management Minister, Murray Watt. Murray, good to see you. Thanks for your time on a busy morning for you. So just can you outline the plan for you, your priorities this morning?
Yeah, good morning, Pete. Obviously, you can see here the rain has stopped in Cairns, which is a terrific thing and means that access to some of those isolated communities is going to be becoming a lot easier. This morning, I'll be joining the Queensland Government's Disaster Management Committee meeting, which will be happening right behind me here at the Cairns Centre. Really today, we are continuing the response effort. You will have seen yesterday the ADF was able to evacuate about 125 people from Wudjil, north of Cairns. They've been taken to an emergency shelter in Cooktown. There'll be at least one more evacuation flight from Wudjil today. Not everyone wants to leave the community, but the opportunity is there for those who do. But look, the cleanup is underway. Cairns is a real hive of activity at the moment. We've got helicopters going up and down from the airport, taking supplies and people out to communities. There's ergon crews running all around town, reconnecting power. So we're into that response mode, but obviously we're starting to have a look as well about what the sort of longer term recovery needs will be in terms of infrastructure repairs and things like that as well.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a moment. But just one more question on Wudjil. How many, have you got an estimate on how many people do in fact want to leave who are still there?
Yeah, well, the community has about 250, 300 residents, so we think that we've now evacuated about half of the community. I don't have the precise figures as to how many want to leave, but I do know that there'll be at least one more evacuation flight. So we've been focusing yesterday on the vulnerable and elderly, but it'll be wider community who'll be able to be moved today.
All right. And as for areas such as Mossman, the Daintree, we had the Douglas Shire Mayor on the program earlier. He mentioned that about 750 people who are on the whole okay, but they're still stranded at the moment. So will you be involved in that kind of access?
Yeah, absolutely. I've already had a briefing this morning and have asked the National Emergency Management Agency to prioritise resupplies into those communities. My understanding is that most of the communities that are stranded do have food and water available, but it is obviously starting to run a bit low. So making sure that we can get those resupply efforts happening is a priority today as well. Obviously, up until now, the first focus has been actually making sure that we don't lose any lives and keeping people safe. But as we've worked through that, we can now be moving more towards those resupplies of those communities too.
Just on that then, the police told us last hour that they held grave fears for an 85-year-old missing. Just thought I'd ask, has there been an update on him this morning?
Yeah, I haven't got any further information on that yet this morning, Pete. You would have seen that the police launched a search and rescue operation for that gentleman yesterday. Obviously, with each day that passes, we get a bit more concerned about his welfare, but I haven't had anything further updated on that this morning.
Okay, let's go to disaster payments. They have been activated. Will there be more to come?
Look, I think it's quite likely that there will be more assistance provided in coming days, weeks and even months, Pete. Obviously, you don't recover from a disaster of this scale immediately, and we will make sure that we provide continued support as the need arises. The Prime Minister, as you saw yesterday, activated a couple of Australian government payments, $1,000 per eligible adult, $400 per eligible child. That's available from 2 p.m. today. And also for those, you've seen a lot of people, their access is limited to their workplaces. So there's an income support payment available for people of up to 13 weeks in that situation as well. But, as we get better access and better understand the damage that's been provided, I would expect that we would be triggering further assistance in coming days.
Okay, just a final one, Murray. You're a Queenslander. You've defended the work of the bomb yesterday, and to be fair, weather is an inexact science, but given the Far North is a regular spot for cyclones, should the office be reinstated to give people the best possible information going forward?
I've had a bit of a look into this, Pete, and what the bomb advises me is that there are about 20 staff from the bomb who are based in North Queensland at any one time. So it's not as if all resources have been removed from North Queensland. Forecasting of these sorts of severe warnings in Queensland has been conducted out of Brisbane for a couple of decades now. But as I've said, after an event like this, you always take a look at your systems and see whether they can be improved, and I'm sure that we'll do that for the bomb as well.
Murray Watt, busy day. Thank you for you. Thanks for your time, I should say. We'll talk to you again soon.